Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next order of business will be House Bills for Perfection. House Bill 431 through House Bill 833 will move to the informal calendar, and I ask that you recognize the gentleman from Taney for a motion on House Bill 709.
Gentleman from Taney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the House Bill 709 be ordered perfected and printed.
The gentleman from Taney has moved that House Bill 739 be ordered, perfected, and printed. Gentleman from Taney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the title of HB 709 be agreed to.
The gentleman from Taney has moved that the title for the House Bill 709 be agreed to. Any discussion on the title? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the title say aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the title has been agreed to. Gentleman from Taney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could we get a little bit of order in the room?
Yes, please. Once again, please keep your conversations to whisper or take them outside. Gentleman from Taney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the House, I bring to you House Bill 709, also known as Trey's Law. You've heard this before as an amendment to a bill that may or may not make it to the governor's desk. House Bill 709 was voted out of judiciary and later the rules committees with 0 no votes. As with all the legislation that I've presented on behalf of now adult survivors of child sexual abuse, bipartisanship has been the key to moving forward. I appreciate ahead of time the comments that will be presented by both sides of the aisle as we seek to respond in a compassionate manner to those who have survived these horrors. And sadly, because of those whose lives have been destroyed, that they even sought suicide as a way out. It's incumbent upon us to help in every legislative way possible. House Bill 709 will remove non-disclosure agreements from being judicially enforceable in cases of child sexual abuse. The subject matter of this legislation is most serious. Through no fault of their own, children and/or the medically disabled who may have been abused in the past are being abused again by the misuse of NDAs in civil settlement agreements. They go by many names: non-disclosure agreements, non-disparagement, and confidentiality clauses. In short, these are legal mechanisms that were created to protect trade secrets, not trauma secrets. Again, I state NDAs are wholly appropriate if you're dealing with manufacturing trade secrets, but they can kill trauma victims. In states such as Missouri, NDAs are being misused in civil courts to silence victims of child sexual abuse and trafficking. We must clarify the law on use of the NDAs in civil child sexual abuse settlements so that survivors of such horrors who already feel shamed and silenced are also not legally silenced and intimidated. It's an injustice and a wrong that we can make right now. Many say that a bill cannot make it to the governor's desk this late in session. This bill has been presented on the Senate side, receiving total bipartisan support, and can be signed by the governor if we get it done in the House. House Bill 709 would clarify state law on NDAs so that they can no longer be used to silence child crime victims. Without NDAs, truth can come to light, and truth is in the interest of public safety. I consider this an urgent matter for all citizens of Missouri, not just the vulnerable. While 709 cannot fix the horrific events leading up to signing an NDA, it can prevent the silencing of child crime victims in the future and would certainly make Missouri safer for all. I'm advocating for these victims to be able to at least have their voices heard after their innocence has been taken through the criminal actions of others. This legislation will help them heal, to share their stories, and attempt to come to terms with what happened to them as children. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll take any questions.
Discussion on House Bill 709. Gentleman from Boone.
Speak on the bill.
Please proceed.
So, Mr. Speaker, as the sponsor mentioned, we dealt with this issue through an amendment previously. This is a good bill. It came through the Judiciary Committee, which I sit on unanimously. NDAs are really unethical, especially when you're dealing with children. And to silence a child is one of the worst things you can do, especially when you're dealing with abuse. And the problem is sometimes parents coerce their children into signing these before they're even able to make the decisions for themselves because they're minors. And they get a settlement, everyone signs off on this agreement, and then the child cannot talk about what happened. And then I think there's a gray area when it comes to therapy, but they need the healing, they need to be able to talk about what happened, and it also protects abusers. So you can have a situation, Mr. Speaker, where a child is sexually abused, and then the abuser is still out there. He's working at different camps, or he's working with children in other capacities, and they can't tell anybody. And so it allows the abuser to roam free and continue to abuse other people. So especially when it deals with children, this is really not ethical, and it's not moral to have these NDAs in place. Sometimes, again, the children are coerced by their parents to sign them for settlement funds. This is a great bill. We've heard it before, and I would ask the body to support it. Thank you.
Further discussion on House Bill 709. Lady from St. Louis, District 98.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To speak on the bill.
Please proceed.
Thank you. I want to speak in support of this bill. I agree with pretty much everything that the representative from Boone just said. A lot of the time, these minors, first of all, they're minors. When this happened to them, they're not of age to contract to enter into any agreement in the first place. So their parents are doing it on their behalf. Might not even be anything that they would like. And it definitely affects their healing process as they get older by not being able to properly speak about their trauma, talk about their experiences. So I am definitely in support of this bill, and I encourage the body to vote for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion. The chair recognizes the lady from Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To speak on the bill.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am in huge support of this bill. I really want to extend my sincerest gratitude to the gentleman from Taney County for continuing to carry this bill, continuing to make sure that victims have a voice in this, and I find it so admirable. And the disgusting part is that the only people that don't want this bill are insurance companies, abusers, and pedophiles. Those are who don't want this bill. And so I just want to say thank you again to the gentleman from Taney, and I hope today in the Senate can take up this bill and continue to give a voice to victims that have for so long not been able to have one. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Further discussion. Chair recognizes the lady from St. Louis, District 85.
Speak on the bill.
Please proceed.
I am in full support of this. As I think about this, it's like mental that a child has to go through keeping a secret from their families, their friends, because this is what happened to them. So I just really urge the body to support this. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes the lady from St. Louis for debate. District 70, is it?
Yes, it is. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. While NDAs can provide short-term relief, they often come at a significant cost to the broader societal interests and even the long-term well-being of survivors. So instead of silencing the survivors, enabling repeat offenses, suppressing public awareness, and having a negative impact on justice, the gentleman has brought forth a bill that promotes transparency and accountability in the legal system. I support this bill, and I urge the body to vote yes. Thank you.
Further discussion. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Cole.
To speak in favor of the bill.
Please proceed.
This is a very important bill. I have dealt with survivors of abuse, and this starts the healing process for them when they step forward, and the amount of courage it takes for them to step forward and put themselves and their family that they are a victim. They add insult to injury then to tell them when the case is settled that they have to keep a secret, and they live the rest of their lives with that secret while the pedophiles continue to go about their business and start up somewhere else. More importantly is at the moment they may agree to settle and keep a non-disclosure, but then what happens is the time goes on, they start to think, could I have done more to prevent others? And so now they're living the rest of their life with another guilt feeling that they didn't do more. And this eliminates that process, and there should be no secrets in who our pedophiles are. And this is needed greatly because it's seen in a lot of other areas. And the major perpetrators of this move from one area to the next, and with this non-disclosure, they keep on going their way, and the victims live with the guilt and the shame that they didn't try to do more. So I greatly support this bill and ask everyone to give it unanimous support.
Further discussion. Lady from St. Louis, for what purpose do you rise?
To speak on the bill.
Please proceed.
I am in favor of this bill. Being a victim of child sexual abuse and not telling anyone ever. This is my first time letting this come out of my mouth. I've never repeated this to anyone, my mom, my dad, nobody. So I don't think that any child should be silenced at all. If there's a story to be told, they should have the right to tell the story. And I wish that I had the courage back then to tell my story. And I ask the body to support this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Further discussion. Seeing none. Gentleman from Taney, you are recognized to close.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate the comments from both sides of the aisle. Let's get this done. I renew my motion.
The gentleman from Taney has moved for House Bill 709 be ordered, perfected, and printed. All in favor will say aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and you have ordered and perfected and printed House Bill 709. Gentleman from Green.